Good morning, and thanks for attending. My name is Nguyen. I am head of communities, and I run the onboarded customer success team at Bluescape. And this is Jasper Bear.
I'm Jasper Bear. I'm director of customer success at Bluescape, and so in my purview is onboarding. So that's what we're going to talk to you about today.
Yeah, so we're at Bluescape. We're a startup. We're about 2 years old, about 50 employees, based out of San Carlos. It's kind of difficult to explain what we do, but as you see in this picture here, we are a real-time, cloud-based collaboration platform. And that wall right there, it essentially becomes a collaborative workspace where you can manipulate size, objects, real-time, and across multiple devices. So if you guys have any questions, come talk to us afterwards about the product. Okay, and today we're going to talk about our philosophy on onboarding. People who are generally using products and getting benefit will generally renew.
And onboarding is really the first time you're talking to your actual users, and so it's a critical part in this step. Getting some kind of value admitted by your users during the onboarding step is just absolutely critical. So,
yeah, consistent usage and increasing usage will always cause a customer loyalty and in turn, customer for life. We see three key principles. And number one is understand the problem we are solving.
So this is an interesting one. Companies buy your product to solve a certain problem. Typically, there's a decision maker who said, this is the problem, and your product will solve it. It doesn't necessarily translate down to the users. So you definitely need to make sure that you're satisfying both the problems that the users have and the problems that your executive and business sponsors are having, because they're all really important to the success of your product. So you don't always know exactly what problem you're solving when you come in. You often are looking at the problem that somebody thought you should be solving, and you may actually uncover other ones during the course of onboarding.
Yeah, and benefit to solving the problem.
So again, there's benefits to the company, there are benefits to the users. During onboarding, you're going to be spending so much time with users, and all they care about is what's in it for me. Their bosses can tell them to do this, and they'll hate you. They'll hate you, and they'll hate your product. But if they're getting value out of their product, if there's a benefit to them, my job's easier, they will continue using.
Yeah, and how do you know how well you're doing in the onboarding process?
Great question, Phil. So one thing we try to do, we talk about leading indicators of value. So the entire SaaS game is around value, is around delivering value, is around ROI. What am I getting back from this product that I just bought? Often it's really challenging to measure value for any kind of a SaaS product. I know you all have had this problem out in your own careers. But leading indicators of value are these little chunks of value that you get as you're onboarding people, and then during their first usage, where a customer says, "Oh my God, I couldn't do my job the same before, and now I can. It's much quicker. I took a week off of my project time. I was able to communicate better with my team. Everybody was on the same page." So these are these little things that you can't measure. They don't go in any kind of a spreadsheet, but they're really critical for you to be hearing, capturing, and recording somewhere, because they're all going to play back during the renewal process.
Okay, and know your stakeholders. In order for you to be successful, you have to have a great relationship with your executive sponsors, your business sponsors, and very critical is your champions. These guys will actually go out and even sell your product for you.
And this one, again, very often executive sponsors and champions have different views about what's going on. So communication with each one of them separately and understanding what they really need and getting them on board to help you drive adoption of your product, because without them, it's just not going to happen. Business sponsor and champion, so important. If you don't have their backing and if you don't have the champion's enthusiasm, you're just not going to get adopted.
Yeah, and celebrate the little wins. All these little things add up, and you celebrate it along the way. So incorporate your little wins in your strategy, in your communication strategy.
So as an ex-project manager, I think a lot about communication plans and mapping out strategic communications with each of the stakeholders. And these little wins, so we've got a hashtag little wins here, which we actually put them into chatter. Whenever anything great happens out in the field, we go hashtag little wins, and our entire company knows about it. What we should be striving to do in customer success is making sure that the target company, your customer, knows about it too. So if there's any way to get your champions or your business sponsor to communicate internally about these little wins, then you're really on a good path.
Jasper, what are some examples of a little win?
A little win. So, similar to those leading indicators of value, things like I was able to conduct a meeting and everybody got it. Everybody was engaged. So our product happens to be great for improving meetings. So that's one for us. Another one might be, customer lit up and said, "Oh, you mean I can do this?" And they took the next training step with you and showed you how to use the product. Anything where there's enthusiasm, where there's clear benefit that's being demonstrated and felt by the customer, make it a little win.
Yep. Measuring success. If you wait to measure how it worked by retention, you're way too late.
Yeah, if you're 3 months before renewal and you're reaching out to your customer, that's definitely not the right time.
Yeah, and that's why we actually subscribe to Totango, because we still have to start measuring as soon as the customers come on board.
For the first year of our product being on the market, we didn't actually have any metrics on usage. We were completely blind as to how our customers were using the product. And Totango actually has been, shameless plug, but Totango has been great for tracking what our customers are doing. Measuring results, not just positive ones around usage, but are there features that people aren't using? If you can have a view into that, you have a chance to reach out and deliver benefit to your customer in a way that they may not have even known that they needed.
Yeah. Everyone plans to measure results, but it rarely happens. Just this morning's keynote, Ray Wong talked about Disneyland, wearing a bracelet in Disneyland, and they know where people are going. And it's not necessarily just tracking where people are going, but also helps the customer experience. In our case, that's exactly what we're trying to do as well, on how people are using our product.
And what's our last one?
Yeah, so start early, tracking leading indicators to measure little successes, which add up to meaningful results. The little things do matter, so keep track of them and celebrate them. And these are our takeaways. The client who knows they are receiving benefit keeps on using.
Measure early. Start off, build a baseline. Say first 3 months usage was X, second 3 months usage was 2X. You gotta build that baseline, start measuring early.
And don't forget, regular, consistent usage across growing customer base is the goal, always on the incline. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.